Welcome to Nerdgasm, everyone. Today we're going to be going over the origin of the leader of the X-Men. The origin story of Cyclops is both awesome and incredibly sad. I mean, what are the odds that when you and your family are just trying to have a nice weekend plane ride, you're all attacked by a random Shi'ar scout ship? Scott and his brother both jump out of the plane, but his parents are killed in the plane crash. Scott's a good big brother, singing to his little brother all the way down. I would have been screaming the entire way. I'm not ashamed. Somehow, luckily for them, Scott and his brother are found by some military soldiers. The shock and fear of being found almost makes Scott go loose with his powers, but he manages to keep it under control. When they landed after the plane crash, Scott hit his head and damaged part of his brain that allows him to keep his optic beams under control. When they finally get somewhere safe, Scott just loses control of his powers. Of course, like any rational 17-year-old who just discovered he has powers, Scott decides to run into the dead of night without his brother. You know, typical emergent power teenager reactions. Charles Xavier manages to find Scott because of Cerebro, and gives him the ruby visor that allows him to control his powers. This was the start of Scott's relationship with Xavier. By the time he was 21, he was fighting against the uber-powerful mutant, Magneto. Scott is an awesomely fast learner, and he sometimes took the role of leader, even when being guided by Xavier. Cyclops has his first one-on-one encounter with Magneto, and is hilariously underpowered. Magnetism beats eye-beams hands down. But they do end up having their first conversation about how Magneto thinks that mutants should rule the world, and Scott thinks that they can live in harmony and that mutants shouldn't be terrorists. How ironic. Of course, the original X-Men show up, and Magneto leaves because he's not interested in fighting a bunch of kids. Even though he's gonna end up fighting them dozens of times throughout the years. Now, Cyclops' origin is short, sweet, and to the point. And even though it has been altered quite a bit throughout the years, it's usually still the same. His family dies, he hits his head at some point and loses control of his powers, he's found by Xavier, and starts his journey to become the leader of the X-Men. The best part about Cyclops is that it's not his origin that's so amazing that makes him such a great character, it's his journey throughout his character arc. And he does a lot of things that people just did not agree with. He kind of falls into the same foothole that Xavier falls into, which would make sense since Xavier was like a father figure for the majority of Scott's life. He's managed to usually come out on the other side after a certain amount of time, but we'll see what happens. If you're a fan of Cyclops, then I urge you to read the X-Men comics to see what this guy goes through, how he ends up at the point where he becomes the murderer of Charles Xavier, and then his new arc of redemption to try and get back what he pretty much feels like is gone. He's definitely worth a read. The guy is amazing. As much as people like to hate on him, and trust me, I've been one of them, Cyclops is actually a really great character on the X-Men, and I think that he deserves at least a few issues of a chance. But what do you guys think about the leader of the X-Men, and whose origin do you want to hear about next? If you're new, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more videos, and check out the other videos here on the channel. And don't forget to hit the bell notification so that you know when we post new videos. Thank you guys for making this channel so great, and I really do hope that we can turn this channel into something amazing one day, guys. I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye.